Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this series, which we refer to it now as the Hispano-Bactrian Empire series, which is because, well, our goal is now set for this series, and that is to get Bactria reunited, as it will continue to be led by Queen Aldana of Sind. And this son here, yes, this is my new son, my first son. And he will be the heir to the Empire one day. Because I don't know if I will be around long enough to see the Bactrian Empire to be formed. Even though we're quite a long ways in. So, let's continue on. This is now the Shahdam of Sind as Banebshen Aldara. We have expanded in the last two episodes. Well, last episode. Yes, we were of this size, the Kingdom of Sind, and we have acquired the Kabulistan, and even gone further north into the land of the Emirate of Balkh. So Balkh is under our control, and when we do mean control, despite of popular opinion against me, as I have been mostly fair to them, which is part of a dynasty legacy, and despite the fact that they view us as evil because it's Catholics. But what else do we plan on? Reintroducing the Afghan culture back to Balkh. Balkh was known to the ancient Greeks as Bactria. So this is going to be our goal now. Establish Bactrian supremacy. And to do that, you have to completely control the region of Bactria. And you see the white outlines here? These are the areas we must control. All the way as far as Damgan. It's mostly drylands and desert. And then go beyond the river Oxus, or the Amudaya as known as, into Sogdian. And go as far as the Fergana Valley. That's going to be our empire. We will reclaim the lands of old. Despite the fact that I am a total foreigner. My father, Fernando the Great, he is doing poor right now, and he's Portuguese now. But it's going to be remaining Asturleonese, which means that my father created the title of the Kingdom of Portugal now. Galicia no longer exists. It's now Asturias, and as I took this half of Galicia, and Portugal. And Fernando is the heir of Hispania, Andalusia, Portugal, and many other kingdoms, unless he's got another son. Actually, no, he gets everything. But who is the heir to Persia? Another disfigured son, who is a robust genius, like my son. But I want them, and I encourage them to stay away from us, alright? Because we have a mission. Take Khorasan. And then subsequently take the half of Transoxiana. So which means we have to take control of Gur, Herat, Nishapur, Merv, Kutal, Sogd, Orushana, and Vergana. Those are the areas we must take. Oh, and do not forget Badakhshan as well. Even because it's under the control of the mighty Kashmiri kingdom, which isn't quite mighty right now, but in time it will. So we have to leave the Hindus alone for the time being. But remember, Sharia Islam is still widespread in the region, and we're going to remain devoted Catholics because of the Holy War that we'll be doing every time, because we're in a long period of aggressive expansion now. So anybody that we're not in peace with will be dealt with swiftly. Can't murder him, he's at war, so he'll get off easy. Now, we changed our culture to Afghan, but it's the only way to form the Bactrian Empire. That's one thing. But if you want to conjure up a story for role-playing reasons, to say, why did Queen Maharani and Banebshen Aldara change her culture from her native culture where she came from, where she was born and raised in Cordoba, and ruled this kingdom here, and yet she became an Afghan? Well, honestly, I think she would declare herself as a Bactrian. I mean, after all, some of her first, knights that served under her were Afghans. And we know that the Afghan culture has been suppressed by the Tajiks. And some would think that they came to send for her refuge, and they convinced the queen that, they've been persecuted, and the glory days of the rich Balkh, as it was for nearly 1,000 years ago, or so. I mean, the glory days are behind them. And so the Afghans convinced her, and she felt sympathy for the Afghan people, despite the different faith that they have. But that's when she realized that she will work with the Afghans to restore their former glory of a Bactrian Empire. But this will be an empire of multiple cultures, which will include Rajputs, Hindustani, Sindhis, and yes, Tajiks too. And also possibly remnant Sogdians, if any, are out there still. This area is to be left alone. So now, we are on a mission. Reclaim Bactria. We're working for the Afghans, and we speak their language and appreciate their culture. We may not dress like them right now. I mean, we never really, fully embrace it. But we're not going to give up the Asturleonese culture that we imported. Because I know that one day our new capital will be in Balkh. But we're still going to have the ball under my control, and for our future generations' control. So that way we can go back to Asturleonese. So that way it'll be the proper Hispano-Bactrian Empire of multiple faiths and ethnicities. But for now, we'll remain Catholic. And also, let's give some land to people. Because I know I have gone over the limit, and it's going to cause some unwanted penalties. But for now, the Afghan culture, which Peshang is the head. Oh, by the way, since you like me so much, and I know you got a hook on me, which you may use it for whatever reason. Demand conversion. Well, if you decline, then if only I had a hook on you, but you got it on me. I mean, if you don't, well, he's got a hook. I'm sure he probably wants money. That's one would think. Okay. They're mainly of Sindhi culture. I recall we do have a member in the court that is of a Sindhi origin. Which again, we're appealing to the locals. Yes. The Buddhist minority that live here. You'll be my vassal. You will control here, here. Well, how much is Duchy of Balkh? Here and here. Well, actually, that's a little excessive. So So you get to hold these parts. And this land is Afghan, so hard partition is no longer valid and it's replaced by partition. Well, that's because we're of a different culture. It's partition here, and the Afghans have not yet discovered high partition. Then again, I still got a long life ahead of me. I'm 33. And we invite any Aswaran to serve under us. That's the Iranian word for, you know, roughly knights and warriors and whatnot. So we're still going to call them knights because of habit. Okay, that's one thing, so. Has a useful duchy claim. What claim? Of course, that's my immediate family. Again, we used it just to get the culture, so don't worry about me switching that culture back to it. So I'll probably give them that too, so. Just wanted to, you know, have that a bit. And I'm sure you probably want to desire the duchy, right? Oh, by the way, strategy focus and overseer. He's about to become overseer. That's more control growth for him. Also, our capital's moved back to there. Which means I cannot move my capital there. Buildings disabled because the mirage still exists. If only we have the ability to usurp it, which we can. But cannot usurp it yet because he's currently at war. Oh yeah, you don't have a leg. And you're into stewardship. Well, and what's the other title? Mervid Grand Emirate. Oh, I wouldn't want to do that. Because creating another kingdom title would hinder our progress. So we're not, or a bit just slightly, which it'll take a bit of a hit, but it'll do for a time. Now, anyways, we haven't really checked out the buildings, and I know they're a bit disabled, but give it a moment's time. And the development, although not as wealthy as, you know, say parts of India, but Balkh was once a rich place, so I'd like to see it return to prominence one day. If we could get that development up. And despite the difficulties of converting, at least give it a try. I know our fervor is rather low, but you just wait till there's another heresy outbreak, and it'll go back up and it'll be easy to convert. We're keeping the Buddhist faith alive here, but at the same time import Catholicism and Afghan culture to Balkh. Very well. Alright, you don't need to control that anymore. We gave it to the vassals. So now you are to increase the size and the reinforcement rate of the levies, knowing that we'll be on the offense again. And since we've taken up Afghan culture, we're still going to be using the Caballeros, so Oh, we got horse archers. Horse archers are good in the steppe, plains, and drylands. And also we got camel riders, which are good in desert, dryland, and plains, and floodplains. But not so much in the mountains. So based on the realities of warfare of where we'll be advancing, there's going to be hills, mountains, drylands, mainly drylands, especially when we get up to lands that were formerly Sogdian. But heading this way would be just drylands with some mountains, and going all the way over to there. Look at the outline again for Bactria. Oh, also we have to get down there as well. Okay, we'll wait a couple of months because we're inviting some people over here to serve under us. Asturleonese to Afghan. Well, that's my children. Or, who are these people? Oh yeah, those are my vassals. Afghans. Okay. Ask again in 15 years. And I became the new culture head. Good. Go to heraldry. It's going to be a long wait because we do not have the learning skill. But we have current exposure with men at arms. There is banking and scotage. So we have the camels. We don't have knighthood, which is very good, but I think I'm more concerned about getting back to high partition. Aswar has arrived. Ozov Mamluk. Come on in. Fellow Afghan Catholic. Again, still want to hold personal control of this area. Okay, now these buildings are being put to work. We will get our strength back up in a couple of months before we begin our conquest there. But if I was to spend on something, have hamlets more taxes. Because I want this land to be wealthy again. This drylands region here. Just want to see the economy and the development boom around here. We got the levies. We know what we're dealing with. Just want to see them return to prominence. I am attending a dance in Dabul to spend some time with Ramachandra, who I'm currently romancing, if you recall the last time. The mere thought of touching hands makes my heart jump. When I arrive, I find I'm stuck in a conversation with my vassal, Argbad Afanzu. Not my son Avanzu, different Avanzu. My charms improve any conversation, thanks to my high diplomacy skill. Yeah, I want to romance this guy because we know that Constantinos isn't going to be around for much longer. Pay up. Every time I close my eyes, I see Ramachandra's face. Sleep will not come. I cannot wait another moment. Cloaked in shadows, I make my way to the garden. Outside his living quarters, the sight of Ramachandra's chamber window makes my heart stutter. So close yet so far. Oh wait, Who is that climbing out the tower? The shady figure stops by Ramachandra's window and unlatches the shutters. My dearest is in danger. I must save him. Don't you know I'm a warrior queen? I got to get up there. The sounds from the struggle is above the greatest motivator I've ever known. Without care for life or limb, I hoist myself through Ramachandra's window. I feel as I plunge into a frozen lake. Ramachandra's on the floor, an intruder pushing him down, a gleaming blade between them. With a roar, I grab the villain by the collar and throw her into a wall. The rest is a blur. When the danger is over, I turn towards him. Ramachandra, are you alright? I ask cautiously, his words were a spell. He finally unfreezes and throws some of them arms. Think Tripura Sundari, you are here, Aldara. He's a Hindu, so. Too bad I can't elope with him, can't I? Because here's the reason why him. Not because of his martial prowess, since he's a loyal Rajput. He would benefit well for martial, since we're going to be on the offense pretty soon. So, he will be my soulmate, as I will lay with him. We don't have a court physician? No, he's still here. Oh, the dog. He's just a dog. I'm not going to compensate you. Ekba. A newly defender, legendary blade master. Welcome. Ramachandra, it may become my husband soon when the old Greek passes away. $19 a month? Balokh uprising. How many are you dealing with? Holy crap. It's gonna take another big hit to the fame, but I cannot, because we're badly outnumbered. So, Makran might become liberated and we will be separated from Persia, as we have other goals in mind. Although we can advance right now, even though we're not up to full strength, but we can just go up and get him right now. He's got no friends, vastly inferior. This is what I mean by start the aggressive expansion campaign. And if you were to break a truce, you know what happens when you break a truce? You lose a level of fame. Even though it's more concerned towards holy wars rather than the number of knights you can have. Like, we're more concerned with holy wars rather than the number of knights in secular opinion we can have. So, them first. There's 3 holdings you have to take. There's 2. So plus they're Matoris, so they ain't gonna do much. So it's Asturleonese, but we're not gonna get rid of the, you know. But then again, the more we advance, the more we will see, you know, the Sharis around here, much like how they're being dealt with right now. Right, let's begin. My, my eldest daughter. Wow. She is an evil girl. She would be a great warrior if we were in a religion that allows women to fight. But she's gonna go to Persia to get married. As arranged at the betrothal, now that we have a son. As per deal. Standard procedure. I would prefer to lead this army. As always. Probably win. Defending in the hills. We ain't scared. Do your magic. We got them. At least we got pikemen. They're good at fighting hills. The light horsemen are fighting in bad terrain. They put up a fight. Alright, now come on down here. You know, since I live around Ramachanda, you know that man's gonna get me pregnant, right? Even though he's, chaste. Yes, chaste. It's just I expect the old Greek to pass on. That garrison's little. Abdul Hassan, you're in. Deal with. Shall win decisively here. Hired some mercenaries, have you? And the remaining levies. We will soon go in after. We've won, but for glory. We got him surrounded. Want you to come up with us. Because let's destroy him together. Want them to know our reckoning. It's become a habit to walk Shadow daily. I'm not sure which of us enjoy the fresh air and the sun the most. Shadow bounds ahead and looks back at me and barks as to say, catch up. And we walk on. Got walking dog again. They're in impassable mountains now, so they're cornered. And I join in. Commander. Araswar done. Ramachandra, my Rajput. Now we can declare peace. Kotal is ours. To the vile Banebshen Aldara, he says. We'll slowly increase the size of our forces over time. What are they up to? For Hamadan, that's over there, so don't be concerned. He's just assisting an old friend of his. And my father is a living legend and a religious icon. But we don't know how long he'll be around. And soon, Persia will be back into imperial control. Or at least parts of it. Gandhara wants this part back into Gandhara, which will leave them alone. Although we can take on Badakhshan, which is a part of Bactria that we must control. But it's this Khanate up there that controls the kingdom. These Karluks are rather weak at this point. They may look big, but they're weak on the inside. Though not as big as the Kyrgyz Khanate, which is extremely large. So, and we hope that they do not interfere in our Bactrian affairs. Because they are fearsome. A fearsome lot. I mean, if we go after Kashmir, they are inferior, but they're rather busy in one of those wars. Oh, somebody wants to claim Kashmir. It looks like they can handle it. We may consider fighting against the Hindus for once. Even though we have nothing against the Hindus. He's at peace right now. But the problem is his intrigue is too good. I'll think about it. Right. Orthodox Persian, Maturi Tajiks. Hey, I've always needed somebody who are natives to the region and has to govern the area. And a guy such as yourself, I mean, you aren't any good of any kind, so how about this? We'll make a deal. I will recruit you, and I will have a weak hook on you and demand conversion, so he will not like me, but he's going to be of some use to me. But you will represent a Maturid minority up there. You will govern this region. So now, he doesn't like me very much, but he's going to respect me. As he's a fellow, and possibly the first Tajik convert to Catholicism. So this is a region that you shall govern right now. If we can get out of Paragota, I'll give it to you too. And that hook will be around for about 10 years, which I'll be sure to use it when we get him the duchy. Or satrapy, as it's called now. See? Satrapy. So, Peshanga is the satrap. We could go to war against Khorasan for a duchy. The biggest prize is this one. And that would put us in a border with the Byzantine Empire on a small part of it, which is under the control of Count Kiros of Kherson. Even if we fight against them, they'll definitely be there. I mean, it's a large empire that cannot be messed with, but they're not as big as the Kyrgyz Khanate, which the vast majority of them are levies. They don't have much of horse soldiers, but they're just mainly levies. It's a tribal empire. And the most powerful one at that. And we just hope, as we said before, do not interfere in our affairs. But unfortunately, looks like they might. So we got this under control. How strong are they? Oh, very weak. Everything is falling apart for them. And they want this bit. Well, we want this area too. And when does our treaty with them expire? Next year. Okay. It's a deal then. We're going to be fighting for the Emirate of Merv. Basically, at the area where they all came from. Just keeping south of the Amudaya River. This is a big piece of land that we're about to have for ourselves. And I'm confident with those numbers. Got all the piety in the world. No rest. There is mainly diamonds. For practical reasons. Gee, you got the best knights. Whereas in my army, we got some better ones, including Pashang, who still has a hook on me, which he's yet to use it. For whatever purpose. These are hostile armies, so don't mess with them yet. And after this war, then finish these guys off. And then we'll be going north into Sogdian lands. Greetings, my impressive liege. Your ruthlessness is enviable. I've been a good vassal to you, but you should understand I have subjects of my own too. My current contract is very restrictive. Surely you see the wisdom of making it more lenient. And besides, you do owe me. Low taxes. Yeah, we may take a bit of attrition here, but... As I said, we'll just bypass these enemies over here, just take parts of it. This is a big territory we're going to take. So, remember the outline. We have to get that part eventually, too. My dear Constantius, I might have not loved you, yet I feel you're passing more regularly than I thought possible. You are always there, my constant companion. That I take it for granted, as there are so many things I left unsaid. I hope you find peace, Constantios. Want to get married? Right here, right now? Oh, matrilineal, of course. There's a medium chance. He may not have the skills. Oh, Shah Ramachandra, my songbird. To think that I can embrace you openly now, with the blessing of both Saint Bridget and the people around us, I am the happiest woman alive. Come here, husband of mine. It did not have the effect on the domain. But now I want you to put full focus on chivalry, which will up my martial skill further, thus giving me more of the advantage. Zam is ours. Now head to Abul. There's always loot to be found. Whenever we get the country size bigger and bigger, I may have to increase the men-at-arms regiment size, particularly the siege weapons. It's over here. It's close to the capital, though, so any links towards the capital would be good. Too bad it's going to hinder our progress to get back to high partition, but as I said, I got a lot of years ahead of me. The Emir is there. Yeah, they're going to lose Gandhara, they're going to lose Gara Bogazil, and they're going to lose Merv. The land where they came from. Well, not sure, because we don't know their history very well. We only know about the Tajiks that they claim to be the descendants of the Sogdians and the Bactrians. But we feel that the Afghans can be considered themselves as descendants of the Bactrians. Okay, they left now, so go down here and get it. Claim it for ourselves. This one's got very good defense. Enduring hardships. Enemy occupations do not lower control. Oh, let me do this real quick. Just one moment. Because I remember I did this, in previous series. 1 second. Let me pet my dog so I can reduce the stress of it. So, I find Shadow outside playing with some children. As he spots me, he quickly bounds over to his tail wagging. As I crouch down, he promptly flops over onto his back. I spend many minutes petting his black stomach. It's been a long time since I felt this relaxed. Thank you, my friend. And on that same day, Shadow has walked by my side for many years, and the passage of time does not spare dogs. As I kneel beside him, he starts wagging his tail slowly. He cannot raise his head. I sit with him along into the night, petting his black back until his tail stills. I will miss you, Shadow. I believe that was Pashang that gave me that dog. Oh, so the title does not exist anymore. Good. What else? Oh, you still got that uprising? And he's got friends. Surprised you're not even emperor yet. He's 73 and he isn't going to be around. Well, I would get notification that says my father would die and stress increase. I think I would know that. Tamas Kakuyid, an apostolic Dalamite, another Iranian. Is that so? I got money. 7, 7. Jeez, these are strong fortifications. Spymaster died. How much? 400! Well, I'm just gonna have you, and I will begin to sway you for the time being. Just to keep you on my good side. We're gonna be dealing with them soon. They're probably gonna want Merv back. Get ready to make a move. As we continue to die off of attrition here. Let's go. We also have to control this mosque, which doesn't have much of fortification. We'll be sure to, after this war, have one of these Tajiks govern this newly conquered region, because they're the majority culture and we have to appeal to them. But at the same time, we reintroduce Afghan culture in Balkh. That's a big garrison. As I said, when our income is good, increase the size of both Mangonel's men-at-arms regiments. It's a hostile army, ignore them. Not long now. Hamlets are constructed in Balkh region. '82. One more holding should do. Now take this next area. My son and their Alfonso is an unusually calm child. When the others play their wild games, Alfonso often withdraws to some silent corner. He does not speak a lot, but I could tell he's always thinking about something. I wonder what's on his mind. I guess he's going to be more of a thinker than a fighter in the future. '91. So level 4 fort. We almost got all of this occupied. Except for here, but... no. What's the fort level of the capital? 3. Go straight for it. We may capture somebody important there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't fight them, those are hostile. They're not the enemy. Oh dear. Okay, forget the capital. Just begin to withdraw. Wherever I go, my Aswar Gundamaru is sure to follow. That look in his eyes, his word on his lips, I know exactly what he's after. We know he speaks my native language. he's trying to seduce me, huh? How sweet, but no. Serve your country. Serve your Banebshen Queen and Maharani. This is no time for love. Serve your country and sacrifice your life for the great future Hispano-Bactrian Empire. This should be it. Got it. Can't wait to be gallant, so that way it'll be 90% instead of 100 all the dang time. Merv is ours. Cold-hearted Banebshen Aldara, he calls me. Child of a mangy dog. You're next, so we will soon be crossing the Amudaya into Sogdia. Even though there ain't much Sogdians left in this world. Because they're over there, and they're over there too. Or it kind of makes me wonder. Well, there's the Khanate of Transoxiana. It kind of makes me wonder, are you sure there are no Sogdians left? You know, culture-wise, or character? They're all Tajiks, Buta, Karluks. No Sogdians to speak of. Not even their vassals, I believe. We can make easy gains from then on. Now, to govern all of this, time to release another Tajik prisoner to make him our own. That is not landed, of course. Kanuri? Central African. Come a long way. Oh, aggravated wound. You ain't gonna be around for long. Eesh. Not a lot of Tajik men we've captured, except for the man who has an aggravated wound. But he's feeling fine. Okay. But as for these claims, you might be of some use to us. Gained a favor hook on him. Yes, sir. Just 1 second. All of this is now yours. Another Tajik Catholic. As I said before, the land's full of them. Some would say it's kind of odd that we appeal to the Tajiks, who are the majority of the land, but hey, what can you do? And since I got hooks on these two now, may have to, I don't know, increase taxes if they can create the satrapies again? He's at war, so we can't assassinate him when he's in the command of the armies. So we have to go north now. So far, so good. So, well, there's a tiny bit of this territory, which again, anyway, that gets us quicker to there. Are you sure there's no one that has a claim for Khorasan itself? Because that would be great, but that would make him independent. We can press your claim for this next time. We can do that for you, while we will continue to go northwards, all the way to the Fergana Valley region. Cathars in Mecca. Oh dear. Catharism in Mecca. We know that we spread Catholicism there, but now Catharism is over there. Of course, that means our fervor's gonna jump up now. Now there's a heresy outbreak. Which could mean a good thing, at least in theory, to us. Because with an increased fervor, that also means we'll have faster conversions. Duke Rodrigo in Arabia. Pope's going to call for crusades to wherever soon, now that the fervor's all the way up. That also means it'll be faster to convert in Balkh, as we will try to get rid of some of, Sharism to prevent uprisings from occurring. As I said, it could be viewed as a good thing, now that it broke out. Yeah, that's what we mean. Even though we'll be declaring more holy wars, which will have a drop on the fervor. But it matters little to me, because we live so far away from the relevant Catholic territories. Well, far is an understatement, but still. It's in a rather unstable region. And we wanted to give a few months rest, but just to get our levies up to size. So we get 200 a month. And we got a fair amount of income, and well, you've created a satrapy. And you're doing alright, so let me use that hook on you. You probably won't like it, but I want you to have more taxes for me. And if you can accumulate a few more money, create another satrapy for yourself. I will gain you another land very soon. This is the one where the Tajiks came from. So I guess we probably found their home. I mean, let's have a look very quickly before we can get on with the war here. The originator of this dynasty was this man. So actually we can go further. So they hail from Herat, so the Tajiks came from down there. So that's where they came from. So technically their homeland is just to our south, which will be part of the Bactrian Empire in the future. Now, you're next. You may put up a fight, but you're not going to last long with us. Now we're going to cross the river and enter the lands of Sogdian. Yeah, but this little thing, I hope you can grab that, or somebody's got to do it. But it'll be separated nonetheless. Standard procedure. You go this way, I'll go this way. God dang it. No, no, no. This one goes there, that one goes there. This will be a short war. This is what I was worried about. Because we know that the Tajiks far outnumber us. But we'll make short work of these fortifications. Let's make it quick. Loyalty and respect. Spouse likes me more, and skills from spouse consort tasks 25% more. So yes, my martial did increase, thanks to you. Oh, my daughter. Oh, aspire to be a warrior, huh? I'm gonna be raised by you. Of course. That's one. Get down here. Chancellor's gone in. We don't have any good chancellors, but I guess it will be you. That ain't good. We're coming down here. Another piece of territory is all the way over there. So, head straight this way. I will go after the enemy army. Or let's take them on together because they're in their way. Nope, got them surrounded. Got him. We've now officially entered Sogdian. Now it's going to get a lot easier from there. Oh, this one will pack up a punch, but if we can go straight to Bactria, there's a good chance that we will capture him in this siege. Of course, into the wealthy lands where Samarkand comes from. Yep, this was once Sogdian territory, and there's only 2 counties left that are still Sogdian. We'll get that next time, if we can kill him off. Even though I have very poor intrigue, but I don't want to put my time in the intrigue right now. I do not. I do not. Is that so? Okay, now I do. I just had to unpause the register. Well, let's get the rest of soaked. Let's do something a little different here. We go straight to Bactria, take all the siege weapons. All the siege weapons. I'll stay back and intercept the enemy army. Me. That's a big one, actually. If we attack them over here. Look, if you go straight that way, and I'm going that way, which will probably win. Send out my best fighters. If we get into a lot of trouble, then consider it done. Of course, I have more the advantage because you know who I am. Plus, we got the Caballeros fighting in the drylands. Got a lot of men at arms. I ain't worried. Pashang! Done well. Slow down here. They're taking more casualties than we are. Huh. Announce that I'm pregnant as the battle is over. And I'm getting at that age. It's not until 45 that you will no longer be of a childbearing age. Keep giving chase. Capture the child if you can. We sent all the siege weapons to you. We'll win decisively. We'll probably win. We got him. But let's finish this battle first. Because I want my moment of glory. And took his vassal too. Yeah, winning battles just gives you more prestige and piety. Piety because you're fighting in a holy war. I know our fervor decreases every time we win holy war, but I don't give a damn. Cold-hearted Banebshen. And yes, I've noticed they took up arms. We shall fight here. Light horseman. Army destroyed. Now let's take care of this right now. Their fort's very weak. They're going for Lotharingia, which I believe that's still held by these Waldesans. Yes. Well, I can ask the Pope for money, so don't worry about that. And whatever war reparation these guys will give us. Come over here, join this siege, and then I will withdraw. We'll distribute these lands very soon. So we're not going to get bonuses out of this for holding it for long. There's a breach. Large breach. Captured the Wally himself. Well, you better pay up. And also we have your son of heir. Well, pay more. Okay. Now finally, the war reparation, you'll pay 111 gold more. This will definitely compensate for donating to the crusade. Blessings upon your house. At least you have at least kept up a good word. Already, Catholic Afghan. How do you like that? Finally, get to create a cadet branch. This is what I want. Emperor. My father died and I did not even notice. Oh, actually he just died a few days ago. Died of old age. Fernando the Great, military engineer, holy war, logistician. He, and during our time away, he became a contrite, and he's admitted to kinslaying, as we know he was a murderer. Who did he murder? Murdered my uncle of Navarra. Well, that changes my views against him. He's a bad man, after all. But now Hispania has returned to the Persian lands. But now he's attacking for Count Gomez's claim for Arabia. Count Gomez landed. Well, he's a count, so yes. They want to expand their holdings into Arabia. So now he has moved to the capital in Tusta. Now that becomes the very center of the empire, which possibly may sever its connections with the Europe and North African areas. Their strength is similar to ours. Don't underestimate him, even though we are allied, so he may call me into some unnecessary wars. And there is attempted tyranny against him, but now that's backfired on him. He's going to be around for a while, at least up to his 60s. And his heir, who is mine, so they'll never attack us. But we won't ask him to call in our wars, we can handle it ourselves. So now it may be time for my family to abandon the legacy of House de Benevente and carve its own path in history, with me as head of this new branch of our great dynasty. So, this is something that Aldara would want. Carve up her own legacy. This is her story. But now, our dynasty shall simply be referred as the Aldarids, named after the great Banebshen of a Hispano-Bactrian. So yes, we are the descendants of the Visigoths, but everyone here is going to be referred to as an Aldarid. We are the Aldarids, named after the great woman. And if I ever run out of piety, you can always go on to another pilgrimage. But it's going to be costly, you know. Well, it's separated now. And just for you attacking me, you're next. Alright? Keep that well in mind. You're going to be next. And then you're next. And then these two up there. And to go deep into Transoxiana, into Fergana. As I said, the period of aggressive expansion will not cease. But now, who do we give this land to? There are no Sogdians to speak of. I mean, I wish there were Sogdians here. I mean, I'd love to have a Sogdian to govern that area. No, not here. I highly doubt it, but let's look for all that is of my Iranian group culture. At least of age. Like, are there any Sogdians that are not rulers? That's the better question. I mean, it's even though you can't really invite people, but still, if you do see one, just let me know. But again, large number of them are Tajiks. There's a Tokharian. just for me to check in a curious manner. And if we... There's a Sogdian. They're in Zerafshan. Aha. Zerafshan. I'd love to have you over here, but these are leaders as well. I mean, romancing is one thing, but no success. Oh, you're too scared of me, huh? Well, we do know there are Sogdian remnants living up there, but... Is he the only Sogdian resident? Vespasian? That's Baltofine. Yeah, apparently he's the only Sogdian left in the world as far as we're concerned. I mean, it's like, yeah, you could send him money, but can't really invite him over here. This may sound like a stupid idea, but give it a try. I want him over here so he can rule this region. Because this area belongs to the Sogdians rather than the Tajiks. But if we can't get him, well then it'll be Tajiks then. They say the Tajiks are the modern descendants of both Bactrians and Sogdians. Even though Sogdians are still around today, they just go by a different name. Anyway, so... Guy was in his 20s, so... There is a Sogdian. There is another. Courtier of Captain Wakshu. Sogdian mercenaries. Ah, who could forget about them? I would love to have him as my commander, but he's too far away. So there's a Sogdian mercenary group, which, matter of fact, look at this, alright? There's another. Again, they're all too far to interact because they're in Tabriz. That's where they're based from. So it's good to know that there is such thing as a Sogdian mercenary band, so they're not extinct, they're always going to be around. No matter what. Yeah, that's from Waksh. We'll continue on a little quick. Well, there's a Sogdian woman who's a widow, slain in a duel. But he can't land women. Jamshid, steward. He can't invite him because he's on the council. And the Bagatur. It's too bad he can't narrow it down by culture in the search. Not culture group, but culture. And now they get a lot older from here. Marshal. Courtier. Aha. Somebody who's not employed by anything, but leaders as well. Oh, of course. As I said, yeah, it's good to know that not all cultures are extinct when it comes to such things, so... For now, I'm just going to seduce this Sogdian man just to try to make him become my lover and get him over here. May have to break the truce as a way of getting him over here. You know? So, for now, let's continue. This one for a county. Real quick. I don't like to seduce people, but this is just for once. The Afghans are back in town. Not development. Keep spreading it here. East of Pakistan now. No, thank you. I will go after them. You will take the capital. Should give birth to another child by now. It's another son. Who's Hale, unfortunately. This makes him heir to the Satrapia of Balkh and a couple other areas. But, don't give him a good Catholic name. Name him, yes, Osuryu. This is what I mean by we're not going to abandon our culture of origin. Remember your heritage. And Emperor Fernando is the new dynasty head. For every birth, Corjo shows and groans as I hold my newborn baby in my arms. I am greeted by more warmth and kindness than ever before. I guess I do have a quite impressive gathering of children. Kindness born from birth. Mothered many children. Good to know. 2 years! Well, then again, I'm not into seducing. I don't have those kind of skills. See what I mean? Not that kind of person. But it's a shot, alright? Gotcha. Told you it was going to be a quick one. Yeah, damn my 7th grandfather. Damn your 7th grandfather. Okay, now we're at a point where we're holding too much land where we won't get bonuses out of it. So, Sogdians live in Samarkand. Okay, let's split them up. Half will be Tajik and the other half possibly Sogdian. Unless we want to break the truce. Which, hey, I know we're seducing this guy, but who's this old goof? Killing a child. Again, I'm not good at intrigue, but we can focus on it for the time being when we have a bit of a resting period. Let's do that. And I need a new position. Archbishop. Here, there's a little payment. Any Tajiks? Young man. You will have this half. Watch your step now. This will be a little easier. And I'm going to tell my husband to go more towards intrigue now, which now increases my skill a little. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll give it a shot. I know I'm overwhelmed by stress a little. But I'll see what I can do. Let's have a bit of a resting period while we attempt to murder a child and hopefully get some progress in. And support schemes for further encouragement of our plot. By God, petitioners from the realm have been killing up lately. This work feels endless. Yet another one steps forward and then evidently a stressed merchant. I'll let go. It's like, I'll get to your problems in a few weeks, but you are not important enough for anything faster. The merchant got up, blinking rapidly with shock. Was it something I said? Just don't want to be smoking on that stuff. We know it's local here, but hey. But I do like this. Athletic. Small health boost, +1 prowess. I'm going for a ride now. So I'm gonna go work off some stress. As I finish yet another lap around my castle, I can already feel my worries dripping off me together with the sweat. Some people say run from problems, but I say run towards solutions. Another lap. This will be a small knock on the general opinion, but it'll be worth it. Now it's time to go hunting. Don't spend too much. Get set for another quick war. We will take this next. Bounding through the drylands, I'm getting on a powerful bear I've been chasing for hours. Just as I prepare to strike, I hear my martial satrap Hashang cry in pain. He has fallen and is now clutching his leg. I mean, I'll be nice to him, but... However, there's no time to lose. The bear's escaping. Sorry about that, Shang. Get well soon. Don't die. I'm going after that bear. Hunt is drawing to an end. We mount our horses to leave the drylands behind us to search. Prepare the bear another game for the journey back. Despite our difficulties along the way, the hunt went very well. We return home invigorated. Here's an arc. Just to release? Well, you are a vassal of some guy. At least you paid me. We're not quite up there yet. So you've got to wait for a couple of events now. And who is this agent that we brought in? Time man. Ah, it's because you're sadistic, right. Really? The Sogdians intimidated by this boy? You're so craven. A volley to scare, a local mystic with dubious morals, and a fabricated omen. Perfect. Before the mystic leaves for Valley Assad's court. But there's one question. Will my false omen be of one of fortune or of doom? A bad omen for a bad volley. He's grown more vigilant. Murder scream loses progress. Damn. Of gift is certain to catch Ida Van Dyck's attention. Surely anyone would appreciate a fine and clearly expensive one. Well, he's a craven, ambitious, temperate man. A tapestry featuring his dynasty. I think he's a man whose loyalty to his family and dynasty, even though he's a lowborn, but him being ambitious, I hope it goes this way. I received a dynastic tapestry you sent. I am unsure as to the reason why you sent me a gift like this, but I took note of it. Ah, damn it. There's no witch coven anymore. No, we don't follow witchcraft anymore in this family. So we split away from that wicked dynasty. Shoot! Existence of my plot is discovered. Now we can't get rid of the boy. You got off that easy. A reading in Panjikan. Celebrations come to an end, and the evening's entertainment seems to be over when Aviyamandak suggests a reading. A clerk soon arrives, wondering what the guests would like to hear. I see my chance to impress him. He's a holy warrior, but it's kind of hard to tell about him. Picky eater, alright, because he's a covetous craving. Let's be entertained. Namabanogni. What the hell does that mean? Is that a Sogdian thing? We should be a good enough strength to advance to here. So these guys are next. Get them before the Byzantine vassal gets their next chance. I've made my way to the court in Panjikan, and time for a dance at the castle. I've secured an invitation, glad to see him. He looks resplendent. When I finally have a moment to ourselves, I offer my suggestion. He ain't malicious. And he's temperate. I'll just say walk in the garden. He and I walked the gardens, talking about all manner of things. We eventually realized we both lost track of time and we returned to the dance and started winding down. What an evening we had. Smoldering chemistry. Training a war horse. As I inspect the stables, my gaze is drawn to a stallion kept away from all others. He throws his head and stomps his hooves. That kind of reminded me of Ramatandra. Hang on. I'm interested in the little stables event. He throws his head and stomps his hooves, displaying its powerful hindquarters and a well-arched neck. This creature has the best conformations and the worst of tempers. I've never seen such a war horse before, but the stable master insists that he is impossible to train. About to turn 40s. I am not one to back away from the challenge, so I may gain a martial lifestyle perk and the horse might become my own steed. I mean, take a good look at her. You think she's afraid of something like that? Huh? She's robust. Meanwhile, at the dinner party in Shahrustan, I've strategically selected a seat next to the charming Agbada who's drawn me into the discussion about his tome collection. Though I know little such things, I find myself mesmerized by his passion for the subject. His beautiful eyes are positively glowing, even though he looks kind of a bit angry when you look at him. And a deep insight behind his words is clear, even to a novice like me. I think I should listen to him forever. How interesting. Can you explain one more time? Begin your march to the capital. The horse pins his ear back as I approach, his disregard for me crystal clear. This first meeting is important to earn his trust and respect, and I need to decide how to go about. A steady hand is required to tame this beast, likely to work well with high prowess skill or bold personality. I am diligent, and I have excellent prowess, so this should work. I'll tame it. It is a mighty feeling. The powerful horse follows my every whim. Now I've earned his trust, it seems almost fond of me. I will keep him as my personal war horse. Peacemaker. And very soon I will be known as Gallant. And I may continue to be in a martial and go work on strategy rather than stewardship, despite my education. admiring the stallion that now follows my command, and I muse what to call him. Well, knowing that I'm a soon to be again self-declared Bactrian rather than Afghan, so how about a name inspired by history? Inspired by the famous horses belonging to the leaders and heroes of old, I will name my stallion after one of them. Tentador as Charlemagne's horse, Bucephalus as Alexander the Great's horse. Saladin, the fate of Gunnis is surely exaggerated. Sogdian for Hussein ibn Ali's horse. Red hair after Warlord Luba's horse. Well, I'm gonna call you Bucephalus. It's Alexander the Great's horse, and Alexander once traveled in these lands. Never thought that Aldara, founder of the Aldara dynasty, the cadet branch of the old Visigoth dynasty. And thinks she's just as great as Alexander. So, Bucephalus I shall call you. We ride together. We got him. All it takes is one battle. Also, yeah, he tried to seduce me and he died. You didn't commit suicide, didn't you? No, old age, okay. Because otherwise I would feel a little guilty for what just occurred. No good counselors. Truce is not broken. We could fight against them next. They're only one county. It is part of Khorasan. So perhaps that's going to be our next destination before we continue on northwards towards the Fergana region. We have a lot of troops, so very well. Let's go. Oh, and by the way, yours. As soon as there's a breach, storm it. Ayman Van Dyck's reactions to my advances tell me everything I need to know. The time has come to put my plan into action. I think my chances are good, yet I must remember that his liege is always watching. Because this poor old Sogdian is scared of a 4-year-old. Who is curious, after all. It's almost like, well, just imagine when this moment happens and this boy comes in and we're like, ahem! And he's like, ah! He will be mine. Go. This may cause adultery, criminal, excommunication. Do you want to risk it all? He will be mine. You came all this way for me, my pet? After searching the hallways for Ayman Van Dyck's castle, clad in servant's garb to avoid notice, I find him in a secluded garment. He lights up as he sees me, and the sight of him lights me up in turn. The ratty blouse I donned soon lies forgotten on the floor, and we spend the whole night making sure that my journey was well worth the effort. Look at him. He still looks, like he's looking at every corner to make sure, nobody's watching. For you, I would do this journey 100 times over. So now you're my lover. Please come to me, and I will make you ruler of Samarkand and Sogdia proper. You are here, my love. Good. Now, you get to rule these lands, which is rightfully Sogdian. So now you're not only my lover, but also my vassal. You're no good skilled at anything, but go get yourself a wife, alright? Oh, and would you like to be Catholic, my love? Because it's a cool new faith that you probably never heard of. Breach! Got 7 days left. Thank you. Daughter Catalina, the robust genius who is missing a leg and is ill. Midas touched. You'll be going to India. I'm going to make you have this land too, because I don't want to give it to somebody that's not part of your territory, but just for the heck of it. This is just to keep you on the good side. Now the big one. Oh, actually, Orushana's in the way, so it's not going to be that big. But it is a gateway to the Transoxiana region. So we're not going to go up there. We'll fight them, it's just not going to last long. Up to Fergana. And then we'll continue to make our way down to Khorasan. And I hope you, well, one of you is going to fight for this. Despite the craven trait. Perhaps I'm going to give you that land too, when we conquer it next. So, hey. I got someone for you to marry. Sounds stupid, but how about my daughter, Elvira? It'll be of your dynasty, Samarkandids. You know, back where you came from. She speaks a language similar to you. We all speak Afghan now. Even though he has no clue where the hell did we actually come from. Ramachandra. So yeah, the Rajput and the Sogdian. What's your education? Stewardship? I don't know. I would rather have you marshal because of, you know. Well, you're a genius. You can do just about anything good. So I would prefer learning because technology reasons. So we need a bit of a resting period because troop number count is low. We can take them on. It's going to be a while. So now the Sogdian doesn't have to be scared of the boy. And I'm about to become gallant. So let's speed it up a little. And Balkh's about to be Catholic. By the way, what's the fervor? And a crusade. I forgot about the crusade. It's been going on for 6 months now, but it's early. Oh, Kashmir is broken up. But we'll get these areas later. We're focused on heading to Fergana. We have to go to the furthest region of what was left of the Empire of Bactria. So now we are neighbors with the Byzantine Empire, which they will not come down here interfering our affairs. You're off to India now. Now I am gallant. +2 martial, +4 prowess, more prestige and more attraction. Hence the reason why, jeez. a bit attractive to some people. And I can't blame them. But I'm not going to switch that focus into stewardship yet. You just wait till I'm at a much older age. So I'm going to stay with chivalry, and we'll continue with the martial experience and pick up some of the strategist perks. But then again, your prowess is high enough. You can defend yourself. And the advantage is so high that, well, no commander can best you, despite the fact you don't have any commander traits yourselves. Okay. Give it a few more months, then we'll be ready to go again, as we raise a bit of money. Found another holy order. One of the requirements to form the Bactrian Empire is to become a Buddhist or a Zoroastrian, so holy order is out of the question. Uh-oh. Looks like we got some trouble. So I don't think we'll be doing much advancing yet, so we got our first real test. Bucephalus, the sex stallion. As Bucephalus trudges out of the stable, dragging his legs and hanging his head, there's no doubt the stallion is sick. The stable master assures that there is a cure to be found what ails him, but comes at a hefty price. No price is too steep for my beloved Bucephalus. Now it's part of Khorasan now. On the outside it looks like a mighty kingdom, but in the inside it is not. Mervian claim on Gur. Oh, good. Hope you win. That's another piece of land that we must acquire. This is what I mean by these Asharis that we have to convert. So we gotta put it in the middle of the map now. Here. War against tyranny, against Infante. Wait a minute, weren't you the Emperor? Yes. What happened? Oh, no. You got the Fernandos confused. This is the third. And you want tyranny. Well, that actually is tyranny. I get them confused. So. Once again, I say no. I know I'm never going to give up to Living Legend at this time like this, but still. We got our problems to take care of. And now the Emperor asks me, there's a Ashari uprising. Well, that's your problem too. Don't do too much of that, otherwise you're going to knock down to that level of fame. We're about to end this episode very soon. Because we're going to leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger, and you're going to have to tune into the next episode on how we're going to deal with the Tajik Ashari populists. So, to the evil Banebshen Aldara, we will not stand for your vile oppression of good Tajik Asharis any longer. Our time is now at hand. With Allah guiding us, we will rise up and free ourselves from your infidel rule. You shall have it in death. So, we will leave in the episodes like this, as we will raise our armies here. And we're going to be dealing with a lot of them, but we can pick them off one by one. Although we have to split up our forces for logical reasons. So it's rather stable for our ever-expanding Kingdom of Sind, or self-proclaimed Kingdom of Bactria, and soon to be the Bactrian Empire, for the Bactrian campaign continues. So again, we got a good control of this. And we hope our vassal can win this big chunk of land that it'll grab. And further up we go. And in the next episode, after we deal this uprising, we're going to be heading up to the Fergana region, then we'll turn back southwest to get the rest of this. And I'm 41, and we've been progressing very fast since the beginning. Oh, and do not forget the small, isolated, independent states as well. So, the Bactrian journey continues. The Hispano-Bactrian journey continues on. But until then, so long for now.